So we should realize that.
We're here today among civil and social organizations in the community of London because we have something in common, and that something is not very pleasant. That something is Jason Kenney, better known as the Minister of Exclusion and Deportation.
So why are you here?
I'm here because Jason Kenney's in town and I oppose his visit for many, many reasons. So we're gathering together to say our piece and then to march over to where he's having dinner and to let him know that we're here and that we're calling for his resignation, basically.
Grab a sign. We're here to welcome you to this day of solidarity with refugees and migrants everywhere and against dispossession and racist land theft. Juan is going to be explaining a little bit what we're doing. We're going to take a walk down and greet the minister who's getting his racist unprize for our undiversity.
Welcome to this amazing show of community support today. My name is Trini. I'm from No One Is Illegal. No One Is Illegal is one of the folks, many folks here who are gathered today to really send a message to London that they need to be more aware of what is going on in their community, that how Jason Kenney's bills are impacting the immigrants and refugees.
We also just want to acknowledge some of the groups, the civil and social organizations that came together to organize this event. As Trini mentioned, No One's Illegal. It's one of them. The folks from Council of Canadians are also here supporting this event. Folks from Occupy London, hands up, solidarity with all you. As well as Solidarity for Palestinian Human Rights, UWO is here, and the entire, most of the Palestinian community here in London as well. The folks from OPSU are supporting this cause as well. They're the largest public union in Ontario. And myself representing with a few other folks here, SURLA, Students United in Representation of Latin America. We are united in solidarity because we understand that Bill C-31 and C-38 are frontal attacks to the principles and moral fiber that Canada has held for many years. Because it was immigrants who built this country, and we have a stake in the growth and the future and stability of this country. That's why we say that these laws are divisive, regressive, and completely anti-Canadian. What we are seeing in this laws are a slow degradation of everything that Canada once stood for in the world and what we all knew it to be. This is why we have to work together to counteract these unjust laws and understand that if this government can take the rights from refugees, tomorrow they can take your rights and the rights of everyone. And only united in solidarity will we be able to face the attacks in our community. Let's remember the words of Martin Luther King. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
So the same minister who has forced through this brutal legislation that makes refugees and vulnerable people even more vulnerable here in our communities is one of the ministers of the Harper government who stands most closely with the racist state of Israel, represented here by the Jewish National Fund, an organization which for more than a century has been dedicated to dispossessing Palestinians from their own native lands in Palestine. So this JNF in Palestine has for more than a century taken land by one means and another for the exclusive use of a single group. We know that the reserving land for the single use of an exclusive one group is racist. It was racist in South Africa when Stephen Harper supported apartheid in that country. It was racist in the US South under Jim Crow laws. It was racist when it was imposed on the indigenous peoples of this country through reservations and residential schools. And it's racist today and has been racist for too many years when it's exercised against the Palestinians in their own lands.
And so what do you think about the immigration bill that he's come out? You know some of the details, right?
Yeah, I do, and I think it's really dangerous what he's doing. I think that our country was built on immigration, and we have a policy of multiculturalism, which is what I grew up in and with and believed in. And now he's creating laws and rules that are treating immigrants as criminals, basically. That his policies are destructive and don't do anything to support what our country's about.
Listen to the nation. Stop the deportations. Listen to the nation. Stop the deportation. 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 Jason Kenney, you must hear. Refugees will stay here. Jason Kenney, you must hear. Refugees must stay here.
No one is illegal. That is illegal. No one is illegal. That is illegal. Stay here. Jason Kenney, you will learn. Refugees on the way. Jason Kenney, you will see.
Nadie es ilegal. No one is illegal. Nadie es ilegal.
Refugees must stay here.
Jason Kenney, you will hear. Refugees must stay here.
Refugees must stay here.
Jason Kenney, you will hear.
Jason Kenney, you will hear.
Refugees must stay here.
Refugees must stay here.
It's like they're expecting us or something.
The sister here has got the idea, in the spirit of solidarity with all refugees and displaced people, we're going to do a little bit of Palestinian folk dancing.
Nice!
So we're going to stay in movement on the sidewalk, on the pavement, and the Palestinian brothers and sisters are going to show us how that works. You're going to end up forming the line and doing a few steps. It's not hard.
Now we would like to share why this bill is divisive, regressive, and anti-Canadian. And the criminalization of refugees goes against any humanitarian and inclusive tenets that Canada ever stood for. This law will also give new powers to Jason Kenney, where he will be able to determine single-handedly which countries where asylum seekers are coming from are safe to live in and which are not. Shame! But when we realize that the countries that the minister now considers safe are the same countries where the Canadian mining industry have interest in developing projects, that tells you where his alliances are. The free trade agreement between Colombia and Canada, after that was signed, the refugees who have been here for 3, 4, or even 5 years are now being told by the minister that their country is safe and it's not dangerous and it's democratic, therefore, and that's the reason why Canada is making business with them, and he's trying to send them back to face persecution and potentially death. Shame! This situation is similar across borders with refugees from Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and other countries where this government is blatantly aligning big business with poor refugees. What a shame! Shame! Furthermore, these bills will see cut in refugee healthcare, meaning that refugees with precarious status will be rejected basic access to healthcare in the country where healthcare is supposed to be universal. Shame! And by universal, I mean it's supposed to cover everyone. That's including refugees. Shame on you, Jason Kenney. Shame on you, Jason Kenney. And we are here in solidarity with refugees everywhere because we are all immigrants in this country.
So on behalf of Justice for Migrant Workers, we'd like to send a strong and militant greetings of solidarity to all immigrants and refugees in Canada. Today we take a stand against the presence of Jason Kenney in our community. However, we are not simply angered by his presence, but also by the federal conservative assault on migrant workers, refugees, and undocumented communities. From workplace abuses to immigration raids, migrant workers' rights are subjected to indentured conditions as a direct result of federal immigration policies. The Canadian government may want you to believe that migrant workers are docile and should be grateful for the jobs that Canadians won't do. We believe otherwise. Migrant workers are organizing in resisting against injustice. From wildcat strikes to refusing to go home when they are injured, to organizing pilgrimage to freedom marches, migrant workers are demanding that their voices be heard. The enemy of the Canadian worker is not migrant workers, but government policies that are perpetuating divisions among us. The message is clear to you, Jason, to your reactionary, xenophobic, and racist government, to any opposition politician who attempts to co-opt our movements, struggles, and forms of resistance for their own personal gain. Jason Kenney, you are not welcome here, there, or anywhere.
Folks, you just realized that the sign-up table for the event is actually right by those windows. So if you want to face your signs over there, you've noticed some folks have already shifted. So that those who are, having dinner with Jason Kenney can see our message and hopefully pass it on because they're...
Oh, there he goes.
And further, you will hear refugees will stay here. And further, you will hear refugees will stay here. And further, you will hear refugees will stay here. And further, you will hear refugees will stay here. Refugees will stay here. And further, you will hear refugees will stay here. And further, you will hear refugees will stay here.
Oh, really? Okay, so you're just making up rules now. Okay, thank you, Officer Burke.
You will hear refugees will stay here. And older, you will hear refugees will stay here.
And then people rubbing
Michael!
Oh, yes.
Michael! Yo, Mikey! Your forests are planted on destroyed Palestinian villages. Michael! Michael! Your forests are planted on the bones of Palestinian villages, Michael!
Michael!
What are you doing, Michael?
How
can you live with yourself, Michael? Knowing that you have so much blood on your hands. Joey!
Shame on Joe! Shame on Joe!
Shame on you.
See that line? Right here.
Bye, Joe.
Hello, everybody. There's other Jewish voices, and I represent independent Jewish voices across Canada. And we need everyone to understand that being an anti-Zionist is not an anti-Semitic statement. My Judaism is about charity and acts of loving kindness. And what is going on by the JNF and what is going on in Israel is not Judaism. Understand that.
We're here not only to protest Bill C-31 and Bill C-38, but also the changes that have already gone through to the Federal Interim Health Act. And these changes tell refugees that they are not getting healthcare coverage within Canada that they need. Imagine having a heart attack and going to the hospital only to be told that you have no healthcare coverage. And if you cannot afford that coverage, you could die.
Yeah.
Imagine being paid 15% less than everyone else and still having the same expenses for food, for medical bills, for groceries, for hydro.
Latin America is going through a new form of colonization with new conquistadores. And these conquistadores, 500 years later, are not Spaniards, and they're not coming in big boats, and they're not coming wearing armors, metal armors and swords, but they are coming with massive trucks and excavators to reap the resources, the natural resources of Latin America. Canadian mining, the largest in the world, opening up projects, paying up corrupt governments to pass on legislation to allow them to reap the resources. And these new conquistadores are now wearing suits, and they're walking around with briefcases, and they're Canadian lawyers,
There are also Colombian lawyers and Latin American lawyers who support that industry, but they are mainly coming from Toronto, from London, Ontario, with the help of research from the University of Western Ontario. And what we have to realize is that this new form of colonization is also being thought of by social movements all across Latin America. Indigenous movements who will not let these companies take their land once again, but they will struggle for their land and they will probably die for it. And once again, it's like the story repeats itself 500 years later. And I say to that, shame. And because of that, we need to take a stand here in Canada because the enemy is right here at home. Okay? And if we really want to be in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Latin America, in Africa, in the Middle East, or anywhere else, we have to do it here through this type of struggle, through lobbying, through social disobedience, civil disobedience, and by spreading the word.
So, how's your friend Jason doing?
Well, we haven't brought him to life yet.
No? Oh. Ah, you broke his neck. Oh no.
Hey, look, he's spineless.
Democracy makes me sick.
Oh, Jason.
Say it again, sister. Can't we just trust Uncle Stephen?
No.
Come on.
Jack! Fight, Jack! Direction! Turn! Left! Right! Direction!
I don't feel very safe right now.
Hey, Jason, nobody cares what you think.
No one cares what you think, Curtis Nixon.
Deportation!
Stop the
Screw you, Jason!
Nadie es ilegal!
Nadie es ilegal!
No one is illegal!
No one is illegal!
Nadie es ilegal!
Nadie es ilegal! Yeah, it's right there, right there.
I just don't want to just...
Can you just move a little bit out of the way, Officer Burke?
Don't cross the line, people!
What's the law right there that restricts people from that?
There isn't one. There isn't one. It's called pig privilege.
We could not get along without these laws!
No one is illegal!
Cross these lines, Brad!
No one is illegal! No is illegal!
No one is illegal!
None is illegal! No one is illegal! None is illegal! No one is illegal! None is illegal!
Don't step over the line, brother! Lights on!
And Israeli apartheid!
Sycophant!
Fight the power to
Sycophant!
and Israeli apartheid! Fight!
They're really just keeping us all safe and secure. We're a white Canada!
Must stay here!
No need to get carried away!
Jason, who do you think you are?
Can't we all just get along?
You started it.
Let's have a round of kumbaya! That guy in the orange is freaking me out!
Who do you want to stop,
Please
Jason?
stop that psychopath!
Which one? The
One in the orange!
That guy?
He's freaking me out,
Are you
brother!
talking about that guy? Yeah, that guy? He's
Can't we
freaking out.
just stop all of this? Please! Officer Burke, I'm pleading with you! Stop these people! Stop them now! This is insane! Haven't we banned dancing by now? Haven't we banned dancing by now? Good Lord! Ah!
It's a criminal! Jason, it's a criminal! It's a convict. What are you going to do with him? What do you want to do with that
Put him in
convict?
one of our new super prisons!
Oh, okay.
But which one?
I have
There's so many to choose
for
from.
all of you! She just assaulted me, Officer Burke! This is too much to take. Whatever happened to Canada?
You came along.
So please spread the word about this issue to everyone, share it with everyone, and just wait for the call to make actions or join
Squeeze his neck.
Squeeze.
We're just squeeze. You know, we just do shit. That's how we roll, right, brother? Oh, you're this cutest.
Hug him to death. I know.
Hug him to death.
It's his greatest weakness, kindness. Love. Yeah. And stop it. Stop. I'm melting. I'm melting. It's his kryptonite.
What? Jason Kenney, did you do acid?
2010. And I'm in Toronto. And I only have 14,000 cops to protect me. I mean, that's not very safe for a white guy in a suit.
An ill-fitting suit.
Surrounded by hippies. Officer Burke!
Hey, Jason.
Save me!
Hey, Jason. Who you calling a hippie?
He's nowhere to be found.
Who you calling a hippie, Jason?
You, Curtis Nixon.
Give him a hug. I don't want a hug from him. What are you talking about?
Make your whole left side go numb.
Here's a steel toe to the face.
Oh, he just assaulted me!
See that?
Tase this guy! Right in the beard!
Don't tase me, bro!
Don't tase me, bro! Oh,
can I borrow some pepper spray? Got some hippies to take care of.
That's how you make your shawarma really spicy. Pepper spray is good on your fries.
Come on, you call this a riot? Work with us. Resistance is futile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just join the dark side. You're really one of us. You're awfully white. You know what I'm saying?
I'm always white.
Clean you up, get you some new clothes. You're practically a conservative.
Yeah,
the message they have. I would just like to remind everyone who's here that amongst the crowd that you see here right now, and when it was a little bit larger, there were many families who were actually doomed for deportation in the next few weeks.
Maybe we should take a couple more.
Unfortunately, they were not able to stay
especially
because
the little
of the police
ones.
presence.
They're doing a couple more little ones.
Their situation and what that can lead to their immediate deportation. So we see that fear.
I have magic. Magic of Stephen Harper.
You're sleepy now.